Welcome, welcome. You guys, before we start, to have you guys all together is so special to me. And I just want to thank you guys so very much for being you and for surrounding me with so much love in all the ways that you guys have throughout our friendships. But I know that this past year, it's been fucking hard. And you guys each held me with so much love and no expectation around how I showed up or if I showed up. So I just want you to guys to know that I love you all so deeply. And, um, for me, Substack was just a place for me to start writing because I needed a way to like vomit out what I was experiencing emotionally. And you guys encouraged me to just show up however I needed. And one way was for me to stay creative. And so I began writing on Substack, I think back in January or February, and I would just save them as drafts. And there was a nudge in me that knew eventually I would share this publicly. But but I just kept writing. I kept writing, and like Twan, I remember our conversations where you were just like, just write, honey, and if you never post it, it doesn't fucking matter anyway, right? And
just play.
Just play. And you guys have each been saying that. I know Kirk and I have had so many talks about just playing and letting all this stuff just be more easy. And so today, in the spirit of play, I want to introduce you to what I've learned about Substack and how I was able to grow my audience in 2 weeks to earn $1,000 in revenue, which is amazing. And even today, I don't know if it was one of you guys, but I got a new subscriber like literally within an hour of getting on today. And so it's just a beautiful testament to how we don't know what's going to happen until we take the first step. And that's been the energy that I've brought to Substack is I do not have any expectations that this is my livelihood. I do not have any inkling as to what can unfold. And now I'm starting to get into like, well, what do I want this to be for me? And not only has it become a place for me to continue to write and share my musings, but as I'm learning more about Substack, I'm seeing the potential of what's available here. And so this is where I want to start is like, well, what is Substack and what can it actually provide as an online platform for your writings and your musings and your brilliance? So Substack is kind of like Medium. It's, if you guys are familiar with Medium, it's a place where writers go, authors go to write. And a lot of people started to move over to Substack, I'd say in the last couple of years, if they had blogs on their websites. I know, Twan, you've had a very active blog on your website for several years. And this has been a place where people felt more autonomy from all the social media bullshit that we get caught up in around algorithms, around what's the next trend. I know some of us have been talking about Instagram, even feeling, I think you said it, Ula, feeling like you're just a number there. So for those of you that know Laura Belgray, who I love, Laura is adamant about how your email list is your gold mine. Social media will come and go, but you will always have control of your email list. And I think all of us have an email list at some point or another from stuff that we've done in the past. So one thing about Substack is that you can actually bring your entire email list over to Substack, and you then have this platform to replace a platform that you might have used in the past, like MailChimp or ActiveCampaign, which is what I have. So knowing that, it was like, okay, cool. Let me start to then build my audience here. But in that, what else is happening on Substack? And what is happening now is that Substack is quickly growing into more than a writing platform. So they have been launching a lot of resources for the people there that include audio. So you can create a new post, but you can do audio with it. I know, Charlie, you've been encouraging me to read my own writings, right? Because there's something about the voice coming out, our own narration. Video is also happening on Substack, and they recently launched this really cool thing. I forgot what it's called, but they selected 10 authors that either were on Substack or on other platforms, but that were doing video already, and invited them to come here. And now these people are creating shows. So if you've ever wanted to have a video show, or you already do, this is a place where you can migrate that over. You also can do podcasts here. And I think that Substack already has some built-in mechanisms so that whenever you post a new episode, it can go directly to, I think it's Spotify. I'm not sure if they're connected with Apple. I just have to double check. So this all of a sudden has become like a full creator hub where you can write, you can speak, you can do your videos, you can share your photos, and the kinds of Substacks that I've seen out there range from everything from the prolific philosopher to the artist and doodler to the fashion maven that's talking about trends to the person that just wants to start a book and uses this platform as a book launch. So I know each of you have something very specific around what's made you curious about Substack. So I want you to know there's a lot there. Kirk?
Yeah, I got a question. The video platform that they have, do they host their own video, or you make your video on YouTube and then migrate it over to Substack? How does that work?
So you
Are they hosting it themselves?
You can host on their platform. Yep, you can actually upload a video directly on there, or you can also record using their record button. And the same with audio. You can either upload your own audio or do record directly, but they do host it.
Got you. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, can you host on your own website?
I believe so. I believe there's a way to bring everything happening on Substack over to your website, like with code or RSS, whatever that means.
No, I mean to actually store the video on your website, so you're always referring them back to your website.
You can, yeah, you can. Yep, you can record it on the platform, download it, and then put it on your own website. Yeah, wow. Which is really cool. Twan?
So I have a lot of videos, as you know, like thousands. Can I just link or embed the code into my Substack like I did in Medium, like the blog?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Kirk. I love this. You guys are so engaged. You're the best students ever.
Yeah, but this is total sidebar.
How are the raccoons doing in the attic?
No. I'm just paying attention to the energy here, and I'm feeling a lot of love, and I'm loving it. So thank you guys. I'm feeling the energy from everybody on this platform right now, and it's just love, high vibration, and it's very true and genuine, and I appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. Aww. I just had to mention it because I'm feeling it.
Same here. I'm vibing. I was like, oh, my heart is like palpitating because I'm so excited to be here with you guys.
Aww, I love you guys so much. Thank you.
I'm excited to be here too. It's like, yeah.
Wait until we're in person one day.
I know, right? It's like, yes. I have a question, where do you store your videos now? Are they on your website?
So I use YouTube. You can use YouTube or Vimeo. I just use YouTube because there's just a lot more people there, so I go where the audience is.
Of course.
So I store everything there. But I thought the interesting thing about this, when I start to tinker with it, is when Gladys teaches us, we can just hit record there and record it there. But I love your idea, Charlie, of having it, just in case. You never know with these startups or with fads or new things. Hopefully this has staying power, this platform. But I don't want to just lose it all.
Yeah.
So I want it to go live on my website, and Kirk has a lot of amazing, valuable content too. So I wouldn't just let it live here in case you don't have control of the server.
Absolutely. Yeah. And the other thing that I noticed, I mean, I love YouTube. I'm going there more and more all the time. But what I'm recognizing is every platform, if they'll allow you to use another platform on their platform, but you're just not going to get the views that you would if you're using their. So if you're using YouTube to bring their.
Yeah, I think it's just a matter of we're literally in a playground right now, and we're just playing. Yeah. A conversation that Gladys and I have been having every single time we talk is just play. And I did a book writing
Good
course
morning.
recently. Yeah, I did a book writing course recently, and the whole theme was also, look, your book can be as short as long as you want.
Yeah.
Like do it, do you, and that's really all that matters. And that's one thing that's really important for me is just to do me. Because when I start feeling like, oh my God, I have to post today. Oh my God, I have to do it a certain way. Oh, everybody's talking about this, so let me go that way. No, it's just like today. I just feel like everybody's a walking algorithm. Everybody freaking looks the same on these Instagram things. It's true to me is what I'm feeling right now and here. You know what I mean?
That's all that matters. That's all that matters.
That's all that we're here for.
That's all that matters. It was just a thought. That's all it was.
Yeah. So
Yep.
YouTube, I like a lot. Yeah. And you know what?
Insider. Right?
Yeah. In terms of social media knowledge, I just talked to somebody that has a pretty large following. She has her own boutique in San Francisco, two of them, and she says they're really going for YouTube and TikTok now because, as you guys know, Instagram, unless you pay, you're not seeing their content. Even though, like, I tap on and love everything Gladys does, for her new venture there in Cabo with the Airbnb, but I still don't see the new posts. I have to go look for it, and that's the end.
Ula, I mean, you've hit the worst on Instagram. I think how many followers do you have there, and then how many people actually see your shit?
I actually cleaned up my Instagram before I popped off like a month ago because I was like, oh, I'm done with this. I had like 1,400 followers, and like 2 people would see my posts.
Yeah.
2. I'm like, what's the point?
Yeah.
And it was usually my mom. So.
Of course.
She's a fan, but she's not going to give me money.
Well, Charlie at least has a raccoon.
I do. Yeah.
To punctuate your point about owning your own stuff.
Yeah.
I have a video on YouTube, a very spiritual video in my opinion. It's been up there for over 15 years. It's called I Need You to Remember. Mm-hmm. Yesterday they took it down. They said it violated some sort of, after 15 years, it violated something and they took it down.
Wow. So that is one thing, you guys, on Substack that people are very vocal about is you don't have this kind of censorship happening. And I think that even if Substack is kind of newer in comparison to YouTube or anything else, I would say in the spirit of, go with what feels great to you is do it, go big on YouTube, go big on TikTok, but let Substack be this fun place where you tinker around, you repurpose. And this is what I want to focus on next is, how do we start to get you guys primed to, as Tuan says, get over the hump and actually get in there. And, my version of that is like, how do we grow your creative garden, but start by weeding out the space that you're going to want to use, right? So with Substack, I'm going to share with you what I did specifically, and then we're going to talk about the specific steps that you can take, because it really is not a lot that you need to do to get this garden primed, but it is something that you're going to want to be clear about in terms of what is the thing that you're wanting to get out of Substack, right? As I shared earlier, for me, it was just a place to write. And then I kept on getting the nudge that, okay, it's time to share. And so I went for it. One decision that I made from the very beginning is that I chose to have a paid membership. A lot of Substackers will say, wait for your first 1,000 subscribers and then go paid. You guys know it doesn't matter. It's up to you. For me, what I saw is that paid subscriptions were running anywhere from like $5 a month to $8 a month, which is pretty on average. I've seen that regularly. I did $15 a month, $150 if you bought the whole year, so you do have a discount. And then I had the third tier, which is the founding member, and that was $240. I literally, you guys, did not think about this. I just popped in numbers and the founding member number automatically showed up. I'm like, sure, why not? And so that was my strategy, okay? I think you guys know how to feel into what feels right for you, but price it in a way that feels fun and playful. And if you're ever stuck, do the good, better, best exercise that I love, which is what would be a good price monthly or yearly, that if you got, you'd be like, hey, that's cool. better price, what would be a, oh my God, how fun, somebody just signed up at this price, and then your best price would be like, holy shit, Ula, oh my God, somebody actually paid this much. And see where you vibe at. It might be that you're really okay and comfortable with the good, or you might want to go at the best and just see what happens. But the pricing for you really doesn't need to be any more complicated than just picking these numbers, popping them in, and then moving on. Okay. So the next moving on that I did was I got to style my online garden. And for those of us that love style, you guys know that the visual invitation to somebody is just as important as the verbal invitation. So does this need to be complicated? No, but you do need to have a color scheme going on. You're going to want to think about how you create your logo. Keep it very simple. I use Canva. And for the break, the name came to me. I don't even remember when, but it was very clear that's the name. And I wanted black and white because I didn't want to go down the branding rabbit hole. I've been down it way too many times. And so I kept it really simple, really clean so that I could just move on. The elements in Substack have everything that you want to be able to make this as gorgeous as you want, but it is a simple publication, right? So if you think about it like an online magazine, you're going to have your hero image at the top, and that is going to be kind of what your visual brand stands for. And then you can color the background where you write. You can have a hero image for your emails when they go out. And if you guys have subscribed, you'll see that in my own emails that there's that banner that says the break. And then the colors that I chose, I wanted people to feel warm and cozy. Yesterday, I woke up and I had a nudge. I think Twan, you're the only person that I share this with, to fucking start another Substack. I don't know why, but I did. And so I did it. And it's for Lovebug. And so for Lovebug, I decided that I wanted really punchy colors. I wanted really vibrant feels. So that's how I went about and styled it. So we can go over that later. I don't want to get too hung up on it, but I styled my online garden. And then what I did is I wanted to go into, well, what's it going to be like when people first come? So the analogy that I use is always thinking about hosting a soiree at your house. If you're going to invite people over to your house, how do you want them to feel when they walk in the door? Okay. And that question is the same question that I would encourage you to ask when you think about the first writings or videos or audio that you would have ready for them when they subscribe. I had, I think, 4 posts total. One was a welcome post. So this is definitely one thing that you're going to want to have is a welcome post. And it really, I think, needs to be simple but super clear what's your publication about. And what I recommend is that you lay out what your pricing tiers are about. So make it really easy for them to know, oh, okay, if I'm free, this is what I'm getting. If I'm a paid, this is what I'll get. If I'm a founding member, this is what I get. Okay. And then I included 2 other posts that were public posts, but that had paid components. And one really cool feature about Substack is that in your post, you can actually add what they call a paywall. So it's a line, and then below that line, the message will come up that'll say for paid viewers only or something like that for paid subscribers. This is a really fun tool if you like flirting. Because that's actually what you're doing when you use it is you're flirting with the reader and getting them to be curious, and you're letting them see the value in being a subscriber, and then you're inviting them to want to learn more, but they'll have to upgrade in order to learn more. And this is where I've been keeping resources, my reset remedy, if I've done any kind of like journaling prompts or like guided reflections, I've been keeping those for my paid members, because I also want them to feel like they're getting the value, right, that I said they were going to get out of it. And this is going back to the soiree feel. This is something that I'm really passionate about when I do talk to people about, how do you bring community together and how do you actually host, whether it's an event or retreat, whatever. The people that subscribe first are your biggest champions. So you want them to feel that delight in championing you forward. They are going to be the ones to tell everybody about your Substack for you. They're going to be the ones that are eager to promote. They're going to be the ones to give you the hearts and the likes and the comments whenever you're out there. They're your cheerleaders. And I know, Tuan, you are my biggest cheerleader when it comes to my book. Like, Tuan, I think, is the reason that my book sells every single month, because he's always telling people about it.
Yay,
And
Tuan.
and this is something that for each of you, you want to be mindful of, is that when you're inviting people in, they're your cheerleading team. So how do you create that feeling of specialness for them, and give enough value for the free people that are just, they're curious, they want to support you, maybe they want to be little flies on the wall. Give them enough value to the word like, fuck, this is cool, they want to keep coming back, and then have the really good stuff available paid. One thing that is emerging on Substack that I think is also really fucking awesome is, and I thought about this once, I'm like, wait a minute, why am I not offering my courses here? People are now offering courses on Substack. They're offering challenges. They're offering month-long masterminds. So again, Substack has so many elements to it where now you can actually also think about, well, if I've got a publication, why don't I, and I want to do a course on whatever. Ula and I had a Married to Money course. We start talking about posts about money, and then we can promote the course in Substack, and then we can either host it in Substack or we have our own platform to host it in. The point earlier about you want to make sure you're always owning your content, very valid point. So do what's comfortable for you. But that is another option. And so I actually applied to receive, we'll see if I receive a scholarship to be part of, I think it's a month-long Substack mastermind on using notes. And I'll talk about notes a little later. But these are all the different ways that Substack can work with whatever it is that you're personally wanting to get out of it. Okay. Any questions so far? You good?
I'm good.
One.
So I love that you can host your own classes or courses on Substack. Do they also have like a option for you to like funnel the payments through?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So payment, processor is all built in to Substack.
Processor.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
They use Stripe. So you just set up your Stripe account to it, and then they send out the money usually like in 3 days after somebody pays, which is really cool. They do take a percentage. I think it's 10% that they'll take, and then you have the Stripe processing fees. So it's decent for something that hosts all of these elements for you. Because if you were to try to do it piecemeal, you're going to be paying a lot either in subscription costs. You guys, Substack is free. Okay, you're buying a lot of programs to host all your things. You get to do it all for free on Substack. They take a 10% of the revenue, which to me is all in all, I think, a really, really great buy. And you still maintain ownership of anybody that subscribes. So if Substack goes to hell, you get to migrate all your subscribers over because you have all their info. And for those of you that like to nerd out on statistics, they have a shitload of statistics on who's subscribing, where they came from, what source, was it Instagram, was it this, how many clicks, how many reads are you getting. So there's ways to analyze everything so that you can actually make some analytical decisions around what to keep doing more of, what less, if that's your vibe. Okay, so styled my garden. Oh, go ahead.
Do they have rights to your emails? Your
No,
contacts?
that's a good question, honey. I think you have the rights to the email.
Okay.
I believe it's you, but it's a good question.
Okay. So they would store the whole like course on Substack would be stored all there, the whole course.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah. Or you guys, like one thing that I've been thinking of, and this is why I wanted to do this on our Bliss Off Playground. Ula and I have this amazing world that's been created, right? And our vision was that we would actually host events here. And then we were gifted with a platform that is similar to MemberPress. A lot of the platforms that are out there, there's a shitload of them where you bring your community and you guys can text each other and you have threads. It's like Facebook groups, but better. And then you host your courses. We were gifted that actually by somebody that learned about our whole metaverse endeavor. And so I think, Kirk, you've been in it. I don't know if Charlie and Tuan have been. But this is, for me, what I'm thinking of how I would use Substack is I actually feel like that would be my promotion space. That would be where I get people to sign up. And then I would provide, like, week one, right? Here's your link to get into the classroom. And that link would take them here. So you've got flexibility, okay? After I wrote my posts, okay, so I had my posts ready. Again, this is your introduction, right? Like when people knock on the door to come to your house, what are they being welcomed into? It's your posts. So having a welcome post, some public posts, and then some paid content so people can see, okay, this is value and there's more value behind the paywall. I then went and started to tell people about it. And so my strategy was more me just warming up to how I wanted to ease my way into this big announcement, because I had also been off of social media for quite some time. So I told my inner nest, which is you guys and my sister, about the Substack first. And that for me was I'm doing this. And you guys were intimately involved in just my own hesitations around it and just knowing my personal journey of where I was at emotionally. But I think it's a really good idea to start with your inner nest first, because those are the people that love you the most. They're going to want to cheer you on. And whether they subscribe or not, it doesn't matter. It's the energy of support that you've got around you of like, okay, witness me crossing this threshold. From there, I also then told about 5 other people about it. And I did this naturally in conversation. So a friend of mine that's a dear, sweet friend reached out and we were just texting. And I'm like, just tell him. I'm like, by the way, I have this new thing. That person became a founding member. He was my first founding member. Okay. Then another friend that I had been in communication with because his friend was in Cabo reached out. How's it going, Gladys? And we barely talk. Oh, great. I actually just started the Substack. Would love for you to check it out. He became a paid subscriber, a monthly subscriber. So just through conversation, I was able to get some momentum. And this is before I made a big public announcement. And I'm really, really big that it's about the personal connections where you're going to see the most value in terms of translating into subscribers. And this is something that I was taught when I was working with a business coach. It's the one-on-one conversations that are the most impactful. I also wanted to have some subscribers on my Substack before I went public, right? So that there's a little bit of like, oh, people are at the party, because sometimes it's like, yeah, come to the party, no one's there, and people kind of do a little bit of that, right? So when I was ready to announce it on social media, I was, again, in a place where, like, this is not my bread and butter. I'm doing this because it's new. But I want the energy to be exciting, and I want it to be a little intriguing. Like, I want to pique curiosity more than anything. So when I made the announcement on Instagram, I believe in the first 2 weeks, I did maybe 3 posts or stories around it that were telling people about the Substack. And if you guys go and review my feed, it was very minimal. I didn't go into over explanation. But I think because I had been off social for a while, people were really fucking curious. Like, what the fuck, where has she been, right? And they wanted to go see it. From there, I got, so from Instagram, I got 2 additional subscribers. One of them joined as a founding member, and another person joined as a monthly membership. So were they close friends? No. One of them in particular was actually a colleague back from my university days that I didn't even know followed me. But I'm showing you the progression of how it started to go. Okay. Next thing that I did, I shared an email to all my email subscribers. So I have around like 200 email subscribers after like cleaning up my list over the last handful of years. I haven't shared anything with my email subscribers in like 2 years. I made an announcement. I got more subscribers there. These were free subscribers. But at this point, in 1 month snapshot, actually my first 2 weeks, I now had hit $1.07 thousand in gross revenue. So this includes the founding memberships, which are you pay up front. It includes the monthly memberships, which is given to you each month. If they stayed for a year, that's your projected revenue. And then if people pay for the whole year at a discount, it includes that. So I was amazed, like, this is fucking awesome. And it was really easy, you guys. And this is what I want to get across. This all can be really easy. It does take some strategy, but it doesn't have to take the shitload of strategy energy that I know I've come in the past to a lot of these things with. And I think the fact that I didn't care so much is actually what made the biggest difference. It was like, meh, there you go, right? I don't care anyway because I'm focusing now on the photo shoot that's happening at my house with my sister, and I can't wait to like share the Casa Candelaria thing. So I had other things going on that again didn't make this a thing that I needed to have work out. And so that's the spirit of the play. So as of today, oh, one more thing. One person that did sign up for the monthly, so $15 a month, anytime somebody signs up, I send them a personal note to say thank you. And for people that are my paid members, I think the founding members in particular, they have access to me via chat. So you can make the chats private for only your paid members. You can make it open to everybody, but you have control over how you use these different communication features with your audience. One person I had reached out to, and if they engage back, I first say thank you, but when they engage back, I ask a question because I want to start a dialogue with them. And so this person actually shared a little bit about how she related to one of my posts and the anxiety and la la la. And so we started to talk a little bit about anxiety, and I'm like, this would be a really interesting article. And then I reached out back to her about something else that she commented on one of my posts, and she's like, I think I want to join the founding circle. Is it too late? And I'm like, no, I would love for you to join, and I believe you just need to do X, Y, Z. So I want to make it really easy for her to like know how to do it. And then I let it go. About 2 weeks went by, she didn't sign up, and I'm like, I wonder what happened. And one thing that I am comfortable doing is following up with people. So I'm okay giving a little extra nudge. And so I actually was posting something for my founding members, and I reached out to her and said, I'm sharing something with my founding members. Just wanted to follow up to see if you were still interested in joining the founding circle. Oh my God, yes, I'm going to go do it right now. Boom, she was in. So I went from $15 a month of a subscriber to a subscriber that paid the full $240. So these little examples are just there to show you that engagement is super fucking important. You got to engage with the people that are subscribing, whether they're free or paid. Just by a simple reach out, you never know how it might be the one little nudge for them to want to be more invested. And oftentimes that's what people need. They need the little nudges. I think if we just wait for them to come to us, it can work. But I think when it comes to selling, right, or as Tuan corrected me, to sharing my offerings, my gifts, when we share, we need to tell people we're sharing, right? If you go to your garden and you have a plethora of roses, you're excited to go to your neighbor and be like, oh my God, look at what I have, right? I've used this example with Kirk. If I have orchards full of oranges, I want to share. And that's the energy that is super easy to get into when we think about that. But then somehow when it comes to sharing stuff that we do or insights or a brilliance, we're like, well, who's going to pay for that? Or I don't want to be pushy, or I'm not that kind of person. So I want to pause right now and actually give you guys a chance to share what you're curious about using Substack for personally, and what, if any, weeds might be getting in the way for you to address, to get you into the garden and ready to sow your seeds.
What's a founding member? That's my question. What do they get?
They can get whatever you want them to get. So I have seen founding members on somebody else's Substack just get a big thank you and a gift mailed to them. And they paid the $240. I've seen other founding members get access to courses or get a free 60-minute coaching call. It can literally be anything you want. It can be a design book. It doesn't matter. It can be a free copy of your book that you haven't published yet. What I did for mine, I I think for founding members, I included a monthly Q&A chat where I would answer any questions they have around certain topics that were the focus of the break. They get all the paid content, and I believe I added one more thing, and then I changed it. You can always change it. Because then I'm like, well, they're not using the Q&A right now. So then I was like, well, I'm going to give them a gift. I'm going to do a 20-minute audio guided exercise around an area that they want to release. So it's kind of tying into the good goodbye. And then I'm like, I don't want to do that. So right now, I'm actually rethinking what the founding members is going to be like. And I think I think I did actually update it. So, and I don't know what I put on there actually, to be honest, Kurt, but I did update it with something else. So I would think of the founding members component as the people that are so invested in you, right? That, like, if I look at the people that actually became founding members, I have 3. They love me. That's it. That's why they became founding members. They're not looking for the free gifts. They're not looking for the discounts on future anythings. They're there because they love me and they believe in me. And that to me was where I'm like, you know what? That's the energy that I want more of. Is I'm not having to prove that it's worth the $240, which I think is what I was doing initially. Like, here's your value. It's more, these people are just, they believe in me, they see me, they want to champion me, and so they sign up. And so right now I actually am feeling like the founders, oh, that's what I did. The founders circle, I announced to them recently, I want them to give input on what the break becomes. So I'm actually going to be inviting founding members to co-author with me. And in the co-authoring, I will be coaching them on how to write their first publication. And because sometimes holding somebody's hand is helpful to get over the hump, being able to do that, and then be able to also for them to use my platform as a way for them to get visibility, I felt that was like a no-brainer to me. And so 2 of these founding members have already had ideas that they've been curious about. And so I'm actually going to reach out to them and have them do that. So it might be a reworking of like Founding Circle gets to co-author X number of articles a year. But literally you can make it anything you want. There are so many beautiful examples on Substack, so it's a good thing to get curious and just see what people are offering in their subscription. One.
So founding member means that they get unlimited, and it's not like they don't have to pay. It's forever. It's a forever membership. Is that what that founding member is, or every year they renew at $240?
Oh, good question. They paid $240 up front. Let me look into it and get back to you, because I don't know specifically.
Because I was just wondering, is that like if they wanted access for the next forever, as long as you write, is $240 is too cheap, I think, because it's a lot of posts,
Totally.
And then Kirk, to kind of answer your question too, like I just got back from Paris and I wrote a book there, and everybody has been asking me. Influencers been reaching out to me. When I was there, like the guy that I wrote at the coffee shop every day, the owner, he was like, I need a favor from you. They're asking me, what's the list of your favorite places to go? That's one. To eat and to play. And then the other one was interesting. They're like, they want my secrets on where I source my things for my interior design and my clothes. They're like, where? Because the flea market is the biggest flea market in the world there. So literally, I could offering that I could give is like, here, I'm going to give you 10 of my favorite spots out of like the hundreds that I have. Or with you, Kirk, I remember Gladys telling me about how you have a private playlist of spiritual teachers that you have and follow. I think that would be a great one of the great gifts. But going back to what Gladys said, just that I'm a big believer in like, as long as they come back, even if they're unpaid subscribers, that energy that brings more people. So that's that was my piggybacking thought for you, because we all have something special to give. I feel like we all should have. That show, The Talk, that Barbara Walters created.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like we should have where we're like all talking about spiritual things. Because we all have so much to offer.
Right.
And like Gladys said, I want to hold the space for us that, you know what, like we all are working on our own magic, and a lot of us have gone inward. Ula, you're writing your book. Kirk, you're moving around like I have been. We're also all realizing that this is all adulting, and this whole everything we're being taught is bullshit. Like I've come back and people are like, so Tuan, what are you doing? I'm like, nothing right now, because I'm culture shocked. We've been bamboozled, and I'm unlearning all the shit that I'm not supposed to. That doesn't isn't good for my little boy. And so that leads to my next question, Gladys. Is I am all of us, all you guys here are just like so like creative and so have so many things to offer. And I love interior design, I love fashion, I love food, I love making my place beautiful. Like every morning I get up and it's been a chapter of my book is going from ritual to routine. When I make coffee,
I like that.
Coffee.
Ritual to routine.
That means a lot to me, Kirk, that you like it, because I really look up to you. So like spiritually, yeah, your vibe, the energy, yeah. And I'm getting all teary-eyed, but like we all see and feel each other so much. And Ula, it's like you've been on the other side. I am clairvoyant. I literally thought about my mentor, my life and professional mentor who died during COVID in Paris. And that day I meet him and I'm like, give me a sign today that I am in the right place, because I feel guilty for spending my money. I'm not working. I'm not just here to write. What? And like that's something that's not valued there, right? And then guess what? I meet somebody at a book party that she's like, oh my God, Maria, that was my intern at CBS News, And so we all know this truth. And there's so much, like, there's so many layers to me, Gladys. So my biggest question is like, I love that you're many, it's called multi-hyphenate, right? You love style. You're super fabulous in so many ways, interior design, clothing as well. But it's like The Break was one thing where you're just like, here's my invitation, we all break, right? And for me, my book is called Glimmer because Glimmer was coined by Deb Dana, who is a scientist and a social worker. And she says a glimmer is a glimmer of truth, or this awe-inspiring feeling that you get that is the opposite, scientifically, of a trigger.
I love that.
Feels you. And so my book is called Glimmer because all these things, I went to Paris thinking that I was writing a book on interior design. I met all these amazing artists and spiritual people that became the design of your interior. So now it's just like I was thinking while you were talking, Gladys, I'm like, I think it's just going to be called Glimmer. Like glimpses of truth to how to elevate your life, because people keep saying, I have quotes on my website. I'm rejudging my style website from like all these big brand names, because and while we don't give a shit about it, it's like that's what it's like. Well, who's Gladys? Gladys is a magnificent goddess. Hello, right? But and Kirk, you're fucking amazing. Ula, you're fucking amazing. Like should be no reason. I mean, we are going inward because we need to because we're planting roots before we more of the fruits grow. I know that, but there should be no reason why everybody we touch. I mean, everybody we touch gets healed, right? And I think that or gets elevated. But I think the whole concept that I'm thinking about, well, we're in this framework of we have to make money for a living, and there's things that I've learned that have not been good for me around money that I'm unlearning, So it's also like, well, I understand that I need money to be on this call because I have electricity, and I have the internet. So anyway, it's a whole balance. But anyway, my question, Gladys, without diverting too much, is like, so where do you think where do we start? Like that's where I'm stuck. Like this whole, like I have too much to share, It's
I love
like,
that.
So this morning,
Okay.
choosing some aloe vera plants I found,
So I love that. And the thing is that you guys all have so much to share. You guys can literally pick any topic you want and it's going to be magical. What I've heard from each of you, and I'm going to include Charlie here so she can listen to the replay. Charlie is also in the process of writing a book. Tuan is in the process of writing a book. Ula is in the process of writing a book. Kirk's written lots of books and is in the process of doing shows, right? I love the idea that Substack has video now. And I'm like, The Break should be, It's funny, Tuan, that you mentioned the Barbara, what's their thing called? The Talk?
Barbara Walters
I
created
think it's a
this
view.
The View, The
called this thing called
View.
The
And
View.
it's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
no, because the break is, and I didn't know it at the time. The break referred to my fucking breakdown, but the break is where, you know, you go to the break room, right? To like take a break from life. There's a break on so many things. There's so many ways to reinterpret it. And I'm like, how fucking cool would it be to have like the break as a show, right? Where this kind of energy and dialogue is happening. So there's, we all have all of our ideas, and they're swirling around and swirling around. And one thing that has helped me just kind of find, well, what's the next step, right, in the swirl, is literally just asking that, what do I want to write about right now? I did not approach the break from that big global standpoint of what is this going to become for me? What do I want to imagine the possibilities of it being? And then like diving into it, because as you guys all know, I don't have these future goals anymore. Like it's still that isn't there. I literally was like, I just need to fucking press publish. So I wrote whatever and then I published whatever. And now that I'm in it and I'm like, okay, well, there is traction happening here. What kind of traction do I want to move forward with? I'm doing it all in the spirit of play. And the themes will emerge. When the themes emerge, you can then categorize shit, you know, if you want to make it organized and pretty. The topics will keep coming to you, but this is going to be very contrary advice to what I think a lot of teachers on Substack are saying, is just play and let the thing emerge for you. And this is, you guys all know, this is kind of how I'm living my life now. Like I'm letting life unfold for me. I'm not going in with my plan and imposing it on life anymore. And so with Substack, an idea that I have for each of you, Charlie, Tuan, and Ula, I think it is a no-brainer to use Substack to prime your audience for your book launch. Getting out there and just sharing who you are is as simple as you getting the camera out and recording a little thing about what you do, right? Like Tuan, your thing is going from routine to ritual, right? So record a little video of how you're doing that with your coffee, right? Ula, you are a mom, right, of two kids. One's going off to high school, and you've had this huge like moment of revisiting your high school years and now seeing how different Nico's life is as he's now heading into college. Your mom and your dad were just here. It can be like, you know, mom life, now that the whole fucking family is out of my hair. It can be whatever you want. Kirk, I know as you're working on lots of different things, it can just be getting people to know you, right, in a way that you would get to know somebody in the playground. And I really want to emphasize this because I know you guys can brilliantly strategize your way to growth on Instagram, on YouTube, on Twitter, on TikTok, whatever. The energy of Substack does not like that shit. I'm being really honest with you. They are digital marketer averse. They are algorithm averse. They are don't sell me the marketing bro shit averse. They are people that I'm finding really fucking care about what each other has to say. So I'm kind of coming in like a bit of a shy girl, being like, oh, you mean you actually are grateful that I liked your post and left a comment? Wow, I haven't received that in a long time, because on Instagram, like, people are just flying by and we've gotten so used to the detachment in these other platforms, and here there's engagement. And so there is a way in which I would encourage you to go in playfully like you're on a new playground. And one way to do this, if you're not ready to start posting articles or videos or whatever, there is a feature called Notes. And Notes is like your Facebook feed. Okay, so or it's little posts, or for those of you that have been on Twitter, it's just little posts, little blurbs. You can add a video, you can add a photo, you can do a poll, but it's the thread, right? Where you in the morning you open up the app and then you start looking at what people are posting. This is how you start to get to know people. So there have been some people that I'm like, oh, I'm curious about you, and I follow them. I don't subscribe to everything right now because I also don't want an inbox filled with newsletters. But as I'm following them, then I can see their notes and then I'm engaging with the notes. And I actually did get somebody to follow me through my comment on somebody else's post. So they saw my comment and then they found me out and followed. This is how you start to get to know people on the playground. And in that, there are natural connections that will start to form. So one thing that I'm going to be giving all of you after our time together today is a part 2. That's going to be a pre-recorded video taking you through some resources that I've curated for you to give you various examples of people's Substacks that I think are really fucking cool.
Wow, thank you, Gladys.
Absolutely. Tips that I found useful from people that are teaching on Substack as to how to grow on Substack. But I really want you to see that there's a freshness to this, you guys. And I come from the fucking online marketing world. Ula and I had the same fucking coach, that we pay tens of thousands of dollars to learn really awesome strategy. But all of that, you guys, is changing. And so this environment to me feels really refreshing because it's just not more of the same regurgitation that we're seeing on other platforms. And the level of creativity that it's inviting to me is really cool. So where do you start? Just feel into what is inspiring you the day that you say, I'm going to do it, and then you fucking do it, and you just get over yourself. And then the next day, if you feel inspired, go for it. And if it's super fucking random, because one day you're talking about plumbing, and the next day you're talking about interior design, and then you're talking about death, it doesn't fucking matter. That's you. And all of this getting to know you is going to help you build your community that then become the people that will be the ones to promote your book launch or your TV show or whatever it is that you're selling next. So when I published The Good Goodbye, I was very active on Facebook and I had Facebook groups. So my sister and I actually partnered together. I don't know if you guys were part of it or if you remember, but she was my behind the scenes administrative go-to and my biggest fucking fan. She was on everybody, but I invited people from my email list. I invited people from my Facebook communities to be part of my book launch team. And I had around 100 and something people that were part of the team that got advanced copies of the book. And lots of fun things that we were doing in this Facebook group throughout the book launch period. So this is where Substack becomes a no-brainer. You're getting your book launch team in place, right? And now you're just warming them up to who you are. And then the natural, hey, I'm writing a book is going to come out. And then it's like, oh my God, what's it about? This, do you want to be part of my book launch team? Fuck yeah, you're amazing. Where do I sign up? I'm collecting a list and you guys, maybe you keep in touch with them once a month, right? And they might get little sneak peeks at your chapters, or they might get a behind the scenes of how you're designing your cover, or they might get to contribute maybe a quote. Who knows? You guys can play around with it. But it was all for my sister and I, energy build up. And these were the people to write the reviews on Amazon. And Ula and I have a dear friend, Evie Jones, who I think we probably need to have her come and speak to us about, some of the Amazon tips and tricks for bestsellers. She is a multiple award-winning best-selling children's book author. You guys can look her up. She's phenomenal, but she is also the nerdiest when it comes to all the measuring and the stats and everything. So she's super fucking specific about how she does everything. But she also will have some really cool ideas about, how to get ready for your book launch. So Evie, I'm going to send this to you because I'm now nominating you to be a guest speaker for our friends here on book launching and Amazon. So hopefully, honey, that gives you just a little bit of an idea of where you can start. But okay, let's take this one. And I'm going to stay mindful of time. I don't want to keep you guys too long. One thing, what's keeping me from going over the hump, right? What are some of the weeds? Like, I have too many things, too much brilliance to share. How do I get my brilliance into that first post? Okay, so you just fucking do it. Pick whatever, keep it simple. This goes against what every other strategist will say, but the reason I'm going there is because that's all you need. And you guys do things differently, so let's honor that, right? You feel your way into stuff, and that is where we're going to keep it. Ula, how about you, sweetie? What weeds might be there, if any, that may be keeping you from starting?
I weed my garden with all this shit that I've been through the last 2 months. And I actually confessed to Gladys this morning that I kind of already am in Substack.
I love it.
I kind of went in there and figured out the about page and stuff like that.
Yay.
So I'm already in there.
Yay! By the way, you guys, if you're not already in there, let me know, because Ula did remind me that you said that there's a way to join Substack through somebody, right? Like a referral?
Yes. So I'm actually going to delete everything that I did and just redo it so that Gladys gets some sort of credit for it.
And I don't even
Gladys, will you send us a referral link? That way we can just help build you up.
Yeah.
And then can I ask a favor from all you guys? Can you guys, when you do set it up, please reply to the email, and then I want to follow you guys too. And then if you guys want to have another call, I think, when I started my little Go Inspire Go movement back in the day, I was like, if 5 people read it, and I know more than 5 people, but if 5 people read it, that's just enough of my tribe to keep me going. And then if 5 people share with 5, I'm Asian, I'm bad at math, but that's a lot of people, right? It's like 25 people, right? But one reminder that I have, Gladys, I've been wanting to do for you is reach out to the people that I literally every month, every week, not every month, I tell at least a few people about Gladys's book, From Paris to Here. And so, when we all have it out, I'm totally okay with and volunteer to do this for you guys, is say, hey, you know what, here's Ula, she's, you should follow her. Here's Kirk, lots of spiritual goodies here that you just, it's that he's not following the algorithm like other spiritual people do. You know what I mean? Follow him, and just if we just agree to follow each other, or if we want to share with 5 people. Usually I always say 5, but usually I'm like, oh, there's 10. Oh, there's this other person that's. I mean, who isn't going through some good grief? So I'm like always talking about what Gladys is going through, and right now I'm going through the grief of like, oh, these are things that I learned, and I'm letting go of these things I've learned. So that's grief, because these are stories that I'm holding on to. And not giving a narrative to either. And you guys are all just super special. I just want you to know, like, in touch, we Glass and I always talk behind your guys' back. But,
I talk behind all of your guys' backs all the time.
And it's not like, oh my God, do you know that this? Oh my God, because Gladys and I have told each other some shit we've been through, and there's just no judgment. I'm like, so okay, what's my favorite? What's my favorite quote, Gladys? That's all.
That's all.
It is what it is. That's all.
I love that my conversations literally are like, oh, when I was talking to Kirk, when I'm talking to Twan or Ula, I was talking to either Twan or to Charlie, and I mentioned this. It's like you guys are always interwoven into each other, and it just, again, it means so much to me that this is a chance for us to come. And in that spirit, Twan, of what you're speaking to, one thing that I did want to offer you guys is the done for you with the back end stuff. You guys, I genuinely mean it when I say that you guys are my inner nest, and you guys, I have the best fucking friends. Like, I don't know that I'll ever be able to date anybody, because that person has to match like your guys' vibe. And it's out of this world. And I know I've had conversations with each of you about how fucking special our conversations are. And I know that one thing that has come up repeatedly, and I've been listening, is we should bring these public. So, as I think about, like, the break would be a fun, like, talk show, right? It's, you guys are my inner nest, right? If that appeals to you, like, share it with me. Let me know. There's so much that you guys are doing individually that I love the spirit, Twan, that you're coming with, of like, fuck yeah. Like, we're amazing promoters for other people, but we're shit about promoting ourselves. And so this is one thing that I do want to address for you guys, because I know you all, is you guys all know how fucking brilliant you are. What I've observed is when it comes to sharing your brilliance, there is a pause. And I know that the pause can come in different forms of I'm too busy, I'm a projector, right? Like I know for me from a human design, it's wait for the invitation. And I like that. I have so many times said, I just want to put shit out there and whoever buys it, but don't deal with me around it. Like I don't give a fuck if you buy or not. Like, but I do give a fuck because there is a part of me that really feels good when I see people want and appreciate what I put out there. So I know for you guys, when it comes to promoting yourselves and then adding dollars to it, there's been pause and maybe there's been struggle. And so I really want to invite you guys to see me as somebody that can support you in just getting past it. And with the same message that I'm probably going to tell myself is just fucking do it. Just fucking do it. Just fucking do it. That's all I'll keep saying. But part of it is also like, it does take time to set up the back end. And some of us might not be interested in the branding and the colors and the fucking logo on Canva. Like, I don't want to get on Canva and do that. Okay, Kirk. Right? So, you know, and that's okay because some of us are really into it. Like Charlie, Twan, and I, and Ula, like all of us have done branding stuff and we fucking love it and we love the visuals. So that's easy, right? So my offer to you guys is I do want to take the back end from you guys if you're interested. And how we would do it is I will give you that referral link. Thank you, honey, for reminding me about that. Set up your account, give me access to it, and then I'll do the back end with you as far as like, let's get your welcome drafts up. Let's get you with your logo, whatever, the color scheme. And then it's ready to go. And then my ask really is what Twan already said. It's just if you guys are open to sharing the break with 5 people that you personally know, you would be comfortable reaching out to and inviting to subscribe. My heart feels full, so that would be amazing. Kirk.
I forgot. Hold on.
You were just so mesmerized.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Gladys, several things. Do I delete my Substack thing and then use your link? Or do I start up Substack with a different email? That probably makes more sense, right?
Yeah.
I think start with a different email if you yeah.
Okay, so I can set that up. That's cool.
Okay.
Sidebar, but not sidebar. You were talking about we're brilliant people, but we have an issue promoting our own self, especially if a dollar sign is attached to it. Mm-hmm. And I've decided, what if I just fucking gave that up? What if I just don't do that shit anymore, right? Mm-hmm. And I've made a decision that I'm not doing hard anymore. I did hard for 55 years. I'm done with hard. Let me stop. I was about to say
He's a Scorpio, you guys. He's a Scorpio.
Anyway, so I've decided, and then there's a number that I have in my mind that I want to do per month, but I've decided I don't have to work for that number. It could come from the bank of the universe, and I'm not going to effort for that number.
Yep.
But I know as I walk in that mindset, that number has to meet me because my thoughts have to meet me in the future. And the idea of us doing a view type thing, I think it will be brilliant. And I think people will go for it because we have right now on the call, but if you include Charlie's, 5 different personalities, 5 different perspectives. So someone will connect to what we're saying, even though we're all saying the same things in different ways. I really believe it would be a beautiful idea. Just again, I think Gladys, you've seen a picture of Honeybee, right? Mm-hmm. She's big red hair, but when we get on TikTok together and we do a live, the contrast, people tune in because again, it's just this huge contrast, but we're saying the same thing. I think us doing a view type thing, the possibilities are endless. And especially when you come in there with no expectations, no demand, and you come in there with the idea of we're just going to have fun. We're going to say whatever. We're going to have fun. Fuck an algorithm. All of that. We're just going to do us. People will be drawn to that realness and that authenticity because you don't get that anymore. Everyone is on IG, TikTok, everywhere. They're made up and they're wearing a facade. No one has any real problem. Everybody has a perfect life. No one is hungry. No one is struggling to pay the rent. Everybody's fucking good. And we're coming on and say, look, we're awesome people, but that has not been the case. We actually scratch and clawed our way to this place of enlightenment. It didn't just fall into our lap. Life kicked our ass until we'd be like, we don't want to fight anymore. What do you need us to do? So, yeah, absolutely.
You know what, Kirk? Yes. You know what? I love what you're saying. This is my thought. We can noodle this a little bit more. So, one thing that I've learned is that, I want to give everybody, I want to democratize this and give everybody an option to have a little piece of Tuan time, and whatever you want to call the time with you guys, right? Because people keep saying, when can I see you? I need a little Tuan in my life or Tuan time. And people that don't even know each other say that, right? And again, it's not about me, but it's just about me sitting here holding space so that you can reflect, so you feel seen and heard and felt and all that. And, with the pay, I've softened up around finances and the pay and all that because one thing is I want to offer people here. I always want to offer something for everyone. Like maybe here's a free one once a month, but I want one. And here's like one thing I realized is that when people do pay for things, they will, we all know each other, so we support each other, pay or not. But like people that don't know us, or when I offer a service and it's free, it's kind of like, oh, it's free, it's on the street, I'm not going to pick it up.
No value.
But yeah, so that's what I'm not even thinking of it like, oh, as a number, oh my God, it has to work out. And that's why numbers wise, and this has to feed me. Because that's, I love that Gladys said that. It is literally from Ula and Gladys's mouths. Stupid easy fun, like that's the vibe that I'm taking on with this. And where do we start? We start with our heart. Start with your heart, right? And I would love to I think it would just be fun to say, hey, the world is fucking shit, it's crazy, it seems like, right? But really, like, we're all here to support each other. We're your tribe too. Maybe once a month for 5, and we just do 5 fun, and I call them episodes, but 5 little snackable things that we can offer maybe our paid subscribers.
Yes, we're gonna call them episodes because I like this whole idea of like
I mean,
TV
it
show.
Just could be it could literally just be us doing this, and we can offer that as a to our paid people, to start. I don't know.
Just to clarify, you're saying once a month we get together?
Look, I'm just making it up. It could be.
No, I was thinking the same thing before you said it. So I just wanted to. That what the fuck you just said?
That's what I was saying. Yeah, but without any hard and fast. I know, right?
Oh my God, you guys! This is gonna be so fucking good. It's a spiritual. The view. It's the fucking break room. I mean, like
Kirk, you took out of my mouth earlier. I love that you just paused Gladys and said, "Look, I know we're trying to do our Substack shit right now, but hold up. Like, let me diverge and really quick and say, like, the energy." And right when Charlie got on with her, like, kind of half angel wing thing behind her, and then the universe behind Kirk, and the madness that is all my treasures from Paris behind me, and then, Ula's, like, own universe back there. It's just like, I felt that too, but I didn't want to break up that conversation. But thank you for breaking it up. And I just think that the truer we are, the more we come out to show just who we are, our truth, and just play. It is literally like this playground of, I see Gladys, the invisible little girl who's like goddess woman right now, right? And I see all of us, like the little boy in me that was made fun of for my style, and now people pay me to do their homes and style them, It's just about, I wrote here, Gladys, I'm going to share with you what I started writing already. So when you were talking, I said, this is going to be part of my welcome post. Life is like a roller coaster. I want to see and eat and do and feel the most I can before I get off. And I want to take you with me. So go along.
I love that.
And we're all taking each other.
I want to take you with me before I get off. That's powerful.
Yeah. Right? Yeah. And so I would love to, like, part 2 of this, Gladys, and if you guys are all up for this, like, I would just love, I'm in, Um, and Ula, thank you for writing your book. People need to hear it. So feel your
Thank
feels,
you.
go through your shit. And when I was writing, there was a time when I was like, I'm writing a book. It has to be about interior design. And then I would just journal, and that opened me up because there was no expectation. And that's what happened with you, Gladys, right? So I encourage you, Ula, to just let go of all the stuff and just tap into that little girl or that person that before you died. You're not the person that died. You're not the person that you are now. We are different when we're a different person than when before we got off this. I feel definitely like enlightened and more inspired now. But I just came back, you guys, from Paris, and I'm just like, I told Gladys, I don't want to do this anymore. You know, but we also have to eat and like live and all that. But I just want to like be in my garden, talk to you guys, you know, people like us, you know, have conversations with others. And I really believe that, you know, that whole, like, I don't know if it's Buddhist or Native American or whatever ethos saying, don't chase the butterfly. For me, it's a hummingbird because I love hummingbirds. I have one tattooed here. But don't chase them because they run. Just create the garden. And I love that whole garden metaphor, Gladys. And I'm just so honored to be a part of this playground with you guys here, even if I never see you again. You know, this is like so special that I wanted to offer this to you, Gladys, is to say thank you so much, because your gift that you given to us is not just the technical stuff is what is part of what keeps us going, but people can pay for that, or thank you for offering that. That's amazing. But I think the biggest part is the energetic hump that we need to get over.
Yeah.
And we're all here. If I'm tell me if I'm reading this wrong. But I think we're all just sick and tired of being sick and tired, and
We're done.
that we're taught.
We're done.
And Ula, you'll love this. People are like, so how is it coming back to America? And I say, you know what? I felt like I had a near-death experience, but yeah, I'm calling it a near-life experience because I've lived so much more life there. And the way I was made fun of, even coming back to California Sacramento during the pandemic from San Francisco, people are like, "Oh, were you wearing a cape? It's not Halloween yet. Oh, the drop bottom pants that I wear, they're like, those look like diapers." And still, and I'm fucking 46, so I don't say, "Oh, you're basic, bitch." You know what I mean? It's like, why do you
That's
say
what
that?
you say to me, honey, when you call me on the phone and you tell me what they said.
I know, right? when there, I was celebrated 3 to 5 times a day. People would stop me. Oh, shake one sword. So I believe that this break is the break in life that is giving us what the Japanese believe in kintsugi. When something breaks, there's gold. And Gladys, please write a blog about that. Is that they, you know, pottery breaks, they seal it back with gold glue, and it makes it so much better. And that's what we're here to share. Because yes, you see these beautiful things and all this stuff, but you don't see all the worries, and you didn't see my brother, you know, the stress I went with when my brother-in-law shot himself and my niece found him. You didn't see my 4 family members that died in a year's time. You know, you didn't see the zeros in my bank account, the negative zeros, in my bank account. You know, you didn't. You know, but anyway, your energy is just like abundance. So thank you, and thank you, Gladys, for setting this up.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Tuan.
And thank you guys so much for being so receptive. I think what I want to do next is I'm going to send you guys a very simple framework. I keep looking here because it's on my phone, but you know, with clearing the weeds, I think this is part of it, right? Is just honoring what kind of holds us back. But I think what I love that's come out of this is like, wait, there could be an entry into this that is collaborative, right? We each can do our own thing, but there's something that we get to do that involves each other, which I know Charlie is going to be a fan of as well. Like, it's fun and it's playful, and this theme that continues to emerge and I'm going to highlight and star everywhere is coming at this through the lens of play. So keep that, because you guys have other platforms already, keep that first and foremost. This is playtime. So the strategy will reveal itself, but I love that we're eager to stay connected and to offer what we do naturally all the time, which is talk to each other, but to offer that publicly and see what happens. And then we keep doing our own thing as you guys are writing your books and you're getting ready to publish. These ideas will just keep coming. But let Substack be a really fun playground where you're also going to meet other people. So the last thing that I want to just share, and then I will send this to you, is kind of how do you sow your seeds for 4 steps in this blueprint. Okay. I'm going to send this to you because that's just kind of a to-do list for you guys, to get everything set up. And thank you guys that are willing to sign up through me with a referral. I really appreciate that. So we'll see. I don't even know what bonuses I get, but whatever, we'll figure it out. Those 4 steps are the bare minimum. Okay. And again, if you want my help with the back end stuff, let me know. I'm happy to help you. Otherwise, this is stuff that you definitely can just do in little chunks, or you can devote a day and knock it out. But it's not hard. It's just you need to do it, right? So once that's all set up, you're now ready to invite people to your soiree. And this is going to be where you're going to want to make those personal connections. And I shared with you my example of what I did. Do what feels great to you. One thing that I've noticed, with my readership, I have almost 80% of an open rate, which I think on average is 40 to 50%. I know you guys are going to hit the same. And I think there's something about that really suggests that people are eager to hear more of us, right? So you're going to bring your own audience over to Substack, but there's another part, right, which is the Substack community that I'm just starting to get a feel for. Okay. I encourage you, when you are on Substack, if you guys are used to getting on TikTok or Instagram or whatever, go on Substack with the app and just start looking at your feed and getting to know who's out there. Maybe you have certain interests, get to know some authors, follow them. You don't have to subscribe to everybody. But get active in the notes area, because that is going to be where people start to get to know you. That's going to be like it's recess time and we're on the playground and we're just saying hi without the full commitment of subscribe, which to me is like asking somebody out on a date, right? So just keep that in mind. You're not going to jump into bed with somebody immediately. You could, but it doesn't really happen that often. So give yourself a chance of just getting to know who are these other people. And you guys truly, speaking of multi-hyphenate, I have found everything being written about on Substack. Everything from like my love for style and fashion to the hottest trends to the gossip, on whatever, the Kardashians, to really fucking intelligently heartfelt reflections on life, on grief, on a millennial's perspective of like starting over after losing it all. I have seen artists just share their doodles. I have seen people create their Substacks about food and recipes or health. Like everything is possible here, you guys. Everything is possible. So let this be a really, really beautiful space for you to play. So with that, you guys, I will leave it open to any final questions before we wrap up, or do we feel complete?
Kirk is busting at the seams, I could tell.
No, I'm complete. I just want to say before we leave, like, Ula and Tuan, I'm so grateful you guys are here. Charlie got off, but I'm grateful as well, because here's the thing. You guys have been Gladys' tribe, and you held her down. And we've had so many conversations where I know the role and how much you mean to her. And Gladys will tell you the conversation that I've been having. I've been looking for my tribe. I'm looking for my tribe. I'm looking for my tribe. And I feel like I've found a tribe through Gladys, because I feel so connected to you guys. So I know we came here for Substack, and I just want to say, man, I'm just absolutely grateful. I know the energy of who's in the room. And I know the possibility of what it is when this type of energy comes together, and comes together in a loving mindset, in a place where we're all coming from the heart. So I don't know the magic that's going to unfold, but I know magic will unfold, and I'm absolutely grateful and just really happy to have found a tribe within a tribe. So thank you guys so much, and thank you, Gladys, for sharing and all the stuff you've put together. To even go further and tell her business. I mean, I've known Gladys for so long, but every conversation I've had with her recently just deepened my love and respect for her, because she's so willing to go out on a limb to expand. And I don't fuck with limbs, but now she's,
But you're branching out. You're branching out now.
And I'm meeting her there. She'll tell, I don't do limbs. I do downstairs on the floor. That's what I do. So I'm seeing how these conversations, how they allow me to expand and allow me to becoming the person that I've always wanted to become, that I didn't know I was capable of being. So I'm so grateful for just the connection. Thank you so much.
Well, Kirk, you know what? Really quickly, I was just thinking about literally because I think visually and TV wise and like graphic wise, but I see that there's these limbs and you haven't been reaching out to them. And now you're like, wait, I do, reaching out to the limb means that it blossoms. And I've been building as Gladys knows, a cutting garden. And the way the universe works is I'm like, Gladys, I really want a cutting garden, and I always tell Gladys, it's not about the money, right? Everything I've manifested, even this house, I'm like, it isn't about the money. It is, but it isn't, right? And I was like, I really want a cutting garden, but I don't, I know plants are expensive now. Everything's expensive. What? My neighbor, she saw me literally on my porch, and she goes, Tuan, you're back. And she comes and gives me a hug, and she's like, oh my God, we need to do coffee. So we have a tea actually in my backyard, and I was telling her I want a cutting garden. She's like, honey, I have been saving so many seeds for my garden, come by. And she had this cute list of all these seeds. I went over there and I just planted my whole backyard now. I mean,
Effortless.
great. But Kirk, what I'm saying is the branching is you're offering that now, and these blossoms, which are all of our energies, and the seeds and the blossoms when they die drop in the floor and they're grounded. So it's funny that you mentioned that. And I thank you. I received everything you said, but I wanted to just tweak or zhuzh a little bit of what you said. You said magic is coming, which I always believe, but the magic is here. It's been
Absolutely
for us before we got this call, but here I just feel like the highlight, and it's just been so foggy since I've been back, but like I felt like there's a break in the clouds, in the fog, and a light shone through this conversation. So thank you. And then Ula, what are you channeling? I just hear
well, Kirk's mom has been very active here. And she is literally behind you 100% on everything. She might not have been when she was still here, but she is now, and she knows better. And she's asking me to tell you, just let the shit go. Just let it go. Do you?
Of course, there's technical difficulties.
Kirk walked somewhere.
Kirk's walking away now. Kirk, are you moving?
He's walking away. He's like, I don't want to hear this.
No, my mouse moved.
He's like, bye. I'm going here into the forest.
And then Tuan goes away.
Yes.
Well, in case you didn't hear it, Kirk, you can hear it on the replay. But oh my God, honey, totally that's funny. That's really funny. Thank you, honey. Ula, how are you feeling? How are you? What are you leaving with?
Oh, I'm very excited about this. I'm excited about the tribe and doing a talk show. That's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. People are going to just, their minds are going to be blown. It's going to be so much fun.
I can't wait. All right, you guys. Well, I want to share with you my takeaway. I fucking love you guys so much. I really do. And what I love witnessing and experiencing more of is being able to go into this truly from a place of just wanting to share, and from joy, and from this place of curiosity and eagerness of like, what is going to happen next? Not knowing. It is the energy of not knowing that has guided me in this new chapter, and you guys have been so supportive of me staying in the not knowing, and have really not put any pressure on me to figure shit out. And so even like coming together to give you a container of what Substack can be, I'm really happy that you guys have been so receptive to the ideas, and also my hope is, and kind of my big takeaway is, stay open to the unfolding. Stay open to whatever is here to emerge for you instead of going into Substack trying to make it happen. And I think that energy that I feel today just reinforces how I've been navigating these next steps, and it motivates me to get on Substack and just keep doing what I'm telling you guys. And so, for next steps, what is going to happen next is I will send you guys an email with a referral link. So if you want to create your new Substack using my referral link, you can do that. I will send you a recording of this part 1, and also I'll send you part 2, which will be a shorter recording of me just talking you through some of the kind of logistical stuff really quickly, since we didn't fully get into it. Again, I will send you what I have here, which is like a to-do list. So it's a template that you can follow if you're ready to dive in. And then also give you some curated resources of people that I think would be really cool for you to follow, or if you really are interested, subscribe to them. These are people that I'm starting to get to know just in listening to their content, reading some of their stuff, and seeing like, okay, these are some good players that are out on Substack that are really forging their own paths, and everything in what they share from me feels really cool and light and fun. But it might inspire some new ideas for you. So I share it more from the energy of inspiration versus this is how it needs to be, because as you guys know, everybody has their own versions. So with that, you guys, thank you. I also, since I love that there's so much interest in this idea of having our own talk show, I, in the email, will follow up with a proposal of how we look to go about it and when we might be able to get together again to record. I'll see if Charlie's interested, and if so, then we'll do it. And I'll figure out how we do it and where and what, and then let's make it happen.
Yay. So really quickly, Gladys, kind of as you close, this is the perfect way to close. So when Ula was channeling Kirk's mother, right? And then you're flickering your camera. It went black, and this is what I recorded. Hold on, let's see. And I don't know if you could see it.
Mm-mm.
It says closed death. Hold on, look.
It says death. I can't see it.
It says,
well, it's the poster behind Dead L that says death is closed.
yeah, but I just thought it was so funny.
It was just like right behind you.
But the moment that you started talking about it, that happened, and then I just started seeing your mom. You know.
Aww.
So
wait a minute, I totally missed something.
what?
Yeah, I said that your mom is very.
That's when I walked away.
Yep.
When the mouse just walked away.
Yep.
Yes.
I didn't hear any of that.
Oh, what? Wait,
No.
can you say that, Ola? Say that again.
Okay.
This is important.
So your mom is very strongly been present this whole time, and she's standing behind you 100% on everything as you're doing. And even though she might have not always been in agreement with you while she was here, she is right now right behind you, and she's telling you to just let all that shit go and go for it. Do you?
That makes sense, Ula. Thank you. Because I've been seeing her energy flickering around for the past several weeks.
Yeah, and now I'm getting really
I
big
had no
chills.
idea.
He's like,
I didn't hear any of that.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what was funny was
Tuan, had you not said that, I would not have known unless I watched the replay.
said that, and then there was a blankness, and then this thing that said death closed, and Gladys disappeared, right? And then I was like told that I was like, wait, Kirk, what Ula said, hello, and then you were like, I didn't hear it. So there's this
of course,
interesting
there's always.
playback
Wow,
loop.
thank you, Ula.
Welcome to Life with Ula as your friend. Because we have this all the fucking time.
I love it. I know.
I
Kirk,
love it.
Yes.
One interesting thing that happened was I've been obsessed with Anthony Bourdain lately. Literally, my fingertips every morning I'm Googling him. And one thing that came to me while you were talking was I was like, Kirk is like you're like the Anthony Bourdain of spirituality, like, and not to like throw a fucking like whatever, but when you're pitching shows, it's like, oh, this is like an Oprah and Martha Stewart combination, is what people say, like, you know what I mean? For me, but look, and see, see, Lovebug is like, right, Uncle Swan, you're right, but Kirk, you have this like, don't back down to this badassery of like, you know what, no, fuck that, I don't believe that, but I do love that you softened and said, I don't do limbs, but well, maybe I'm reaching out to this one. Because that's what we're all here for, you know. And I love that Gladys and I butt heads sometimes, and we're like, no. And sometimes I'm like, Gladys, you're gonna be mad at me, but let me just.
But I don't care. I'm telling you anyway.
I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. But you need to stop, because that is bullshit. Like what you're saying about what you're saying about yourself is bullshit.
Yeah.
Do not do that to yourself, because it's a waste of mine and your time. You know, so anyway, but then she'll come back to me and she'll be like, honey, guess what somebody else said? They said that I should read my book and read my readings. And I'm like, girl, I told you that too.
I know!
But it's the universe telling us again. But you know what, Ula? I don't know if you sense this, but I sense so weird that you said Kirk's mom, because I sense in this playground there's a lot of female energy that has crossed over, and I have my style part and my spirit part from my deceased grandmothers that are always with me. So I sensed Gladys's mom, but I also sensed other feminine energy. So it's so fascinating that you said that. I have so many death things to share with you guys too. That is just like, what? Like, what is this all about?
I fucking love our conversations. I mean, how many other people do we know that we're like, oh my God, I have so many death things that I want to share with you. It's so fucking cool. It's like, I had a near-death experience in Paris when I was like going to flea markets.
Yeah, seriously. I know. And this needs to happen, you guys, again, it doesn't have to be, oh my God, we have to do this. Oh my God, we have to. It's just like, let's just start out with 5 fun episodes, because of number 5 keeps popping up everywhere,
Cool.
And just 5 fun episodes of like, look, there's so much shit going on in the world. While you're making your coffee, instead of scrolling on your phones, just hit this and hit the audio or whatever it is. And one thing I saw, it came crystal clear when I saw all of you guys. I felt the energy, but I'm like, look, we've manifested into these interesting like forms of like, I'm an Asian guy. Gladys is some sort of Latina, depending on whoever she thinks.
Some sort of Latina. I am Latina.
You look like a white woman, right? I mean, like, but
But you're Finnish.
I know, but but the style. This is what I write about in my book. That our style and who we are is who we really are inside, and I'm just so happy that we are on this side right now and here and connected. Because when we go on the other side, I'm gonna be like, Ula, wait, you look like a big magical blue light. Wait, you don't have blonde hair no more. No. Anyway, I love that we could talk about this, but yeah, and just be real. But anyway, Kirk, I'm just getting this message of share your stuff. Like, people need to hear it. But also simplify for people that, there's a simplification, because I think people get scared of that. Anyway, I don't know. This is just coming through. But we'll talk more.
Yay!
And I'm happy to talk separately, and I'm happy to talk together, and I'm happy to do this talk thing. And this is our offering and gift, because the world is just so fucking crazy right now,
And for me, because I tend to not care about other people, I just love that I get to like spend community time with you. Like, so yay to that, like playing in the playground. Because you guys all just have such beautiful impact on all the lives you touch. Whoever said that at the beginning, it was like, yes, ding, ding, ding. So thank you guys for being in my life. Thank you for being your magical souls that you are. Are you guys interested in doing a group WhatsApp? Or do you just want to keep it to email?
WhatsApp is good for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can do WhatsApp.
Okay, cool. So I'll do a group WhatsApp, and that way we can also have each other's contact info in there, because I know we're all pretty much communicating on there anyway.
Sounds good.
And then look forward to the email coming in the next handful of days.
Yay! Thank you, Gladys.
Yay! We'll see what unfolds next.
Thank you.
I'm looking forward to the WhatsApp group. Are you going to call it Dead Mofos? No, I was kidding.
What should we call it?
Dead Mofos.
Okay. I liked the Substack siblings, but it's going to be so much more than Substack. So yeah, we could call it Dead Mofos. I like that. Cool.
Yeah, no, whatever. Okay. Love you guys.
Bye, you guys. Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.